Picture this. It's 1978, and while every other car manufacturer is stuffing heavy V8s and V6s into their sports cars, Mazda drops something completely different onto the world stage. A car powered by an engine that sounds like nothing else on Earth. An engine with only 3 moving parts, spinning at 10,000 RPM, producing power so smoothly it feels like magic. The Mazda RX-7. For nearly 25 years, this wasn't just a car, it was a revolution on wheels. It defeated Porsches on racetracks, became the backbone of drift culture, and proved that you didn't need a conventional engine to create pure driving ecstasy. But here's the tragedy. Today, you can't buy a new RX-7. The rotary revolution that promised to change everything died, and the story of how and why might shock you. Today, we're diving deep into the rise and fall of one of the most unique sports cars ever created. From its groundbreaking debut to its heartbreaking end, this is the complete story of why the RX-7 became a legend and why legends sometimes have to die. But before we start this incredible journey, if you love stories about legendary cars that shaped automotive history, hit that subscribe button and ring the notification bell. We're building a community of true car enthusiasts here, and your support helps us bring you more deep dives into the cars that changed the world. Also, if this video gets you as excited about rotary engines as I am, smash that like button. It really helps the channel grow. The original RX-7 arrived in 1978 like nothing the world had seen before. While American muscle cars were choking on emissions regulations and European sports cars were becoming increasingly expensive, Mazda offered something different. A lightweight, affordable sports car powered by their revolutionary rotary engine. The 12A rotary engine was a marvel of engineering. Unlike traditional piston engines with hundreds of moving parts, the rotary had just 3 main components: the rotor, the eccentric shaft, and the housing. This simplicity meant the engine was incredibly smooth, compact, and could rev to astronomical heights that would destroy conventional engines. The first generation RX-7 was an instant hit. It weighed just 2,300 pounds and produced a respectable 100 horsepower, but more importantly, it delivered that power in a way that felt completely unique. The engine's power delivery was so smooth and linear that driving an RX-7 felt like piloting a turbine-powered aircraft. The second generation RX-7, known as the FC, elevated everything to the next level. Mazda refined the rotary engine, improved the chassis, and created what many consider the perfect balance of power, handling, and everyday usability. But it was the third generation, the FD, that became absolute legend. Launched in 1992, the FD RX-7 was Mazda's masterpiece. The twin-turbocharged 13B REW engine produced 255 horsepower in a car that weighed just 2,800 pounds. The power-to-weight ratio was extraordinary, but it was the way the car delivered that power that made it special. The FD became a weapon on racetracks worldwide. It dominated IMSA GT racing, conquered the Nürburgring, and became the car that serious enthusiasts dreamed about. Its flowing, organic design looked like it was sculpted by the wind itself, and its performance matched its stunning appearance. The RX-7 didn't just win races, it created culture. In Japan, it became the foundation of the emerging drift scene. The car's perfect balance, rear-wheel drive layout, and smooth power delivery made it ideal for the emerging art of controlled oversteer that would eventually become a global phenomenon. In America, the RX-7 found a devoted following among enthusiasts who appreciated its unique character. This wasn't a car for everyone. It was a car for people who understood that sometimes being different is better than being conventional. The rotary engine's distinctive sound became part of automotive folklore. Unlike the rumble of a V8 or the scream of a high-revving 4-cylinder, the rotary produced a smooth, almost ethereal wail that was instantly recognizable. Car enthusiasts could identify an RX-7 by sound alone, even from miles away. But by the mid-1990s, cracks were beginning to show in the rotary revolution. The engine that made the RX-7 special was also becoming its weakness. Rotary engines, while incredibly smooth and powerful, had significant drawbacks that were becoming impossible to ignore. Fuel consumption was terrible, even worse than traditional sports cars with much larger engines. The rotary's combustion process was inherently inefficient, and as fuel prices rose and environmental concerns grew, this became a serious problem. Emissions were another nightmare. The rotary engine's unique combustion process made it extremely difficult to meet increasingly strict emissions standards. Each new regulation required expensive redesigns and compromises that hurt performance. Reliability, while not as bad as critics claimed, was a concern. Rotary engines required specific maintenance and care that many owners didn't understand. Apex seals, the rotary equivalent of piston rings, could fail catastrophically if the engine wasn't properly maintained. By 2002, Mazda faced a harsh reality. The RX-7 was no longer economically viable. Sales had dropped to unsustainable levels as buyers chose more practical alternatives. The cost of developing new rotary engines to meet future emission standards was astronomical. The last RX-7 rolled off the production line in Japan in 2002, ending nearly 25 years of rotary sports car production. The revolution that had started with such promise was over. The RX-7's death represented more than just the end of one car. It was the end of an era of automotive experimentation. In today's world of increasingly homogenized powertrains, the rotary engine represented the road not taken, the alternative future that never came to pass. But the RX-7's influence lives on. It proved that sports cars didn't need big engines to be fast, that smooth power delivery could be more important than peak horsepower, and that sometimes the most beautiful cars come from thinking completely differently about what a car should be. The drift culture that the RX-7 helped create has become a global phenomenon. The car's perfect balance and unique character influenced an entire generation of sports car design, and its devoted community of enthusiasts continue to keep the rotary flame alive, proving that some revolutions never truly die. The Mazda RX-7 was more than just a car. It was proof that innovation and passion could create something truly special. Its rotary engine was a technological marvel that delivered a driving experience unlike anything else on Earth. The fact that we can't buy a new RX-7 today is automotive tragedy. But perhaps that's what makes it so special. The RX-7 reminds us that some of the best things in life burn bright and fast, leaving behind memories and influence that last forever. The rotary revolution may have died too soon, but its legacy lives on in every sports car that prioritizes feel over figures, in every drift car sliding through corners, and in every enthusiast who believes that sometimes being different is the only way to be truly great. What do you think? Was the RX-7 ahead of its time, or did it die for good reason? Let me know in the comments below, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories about the legendary cars that shaped our automotive world.